Irrigation farmers say they're hugely affected by the current rolling blackouts. Farmers say wheat is at a critical stage and needs enough water to be pumped to the fields. They say with the rolling blackouts, it's impossible to do that, and this will ultimately affect December's yield. Senior reporter Reginald Witbooi and video journalist Lereko Motseko are at a farm in Hopetown in the Northern Cape, and we cross live to them now. Very good morning to you, Reginald, looking much like a farmer yourself. What's happening where you are?
Well, good morning to you, Desiree. We are here at a farm in Hopetown, and farmers, the agricultural sector, also severely affected by the rolling blackouts that Eskom implemented. And many times these center pivots behind me also unable to produce water to the field, and we know that we are in the wheat season now for farmers to ultimately have a good product to the market in December. The field needs enough water and also fertilizer, but they are unable to many times, because we know that they are making use of the irrigation water channels also in this area, and they buy water for about 250,000 rand. Now, if they are unable to pump that water, which they need electricity for, to the field, that water ultimately goes back into the Orange River, and that is 250,000 rand down the drain. I am now joined by Hannes Brewer, and he is a wheat farmer. A very good morning to you, Hannes. You are a wheat farmer in this area, and we spoke briefly earlier on how long you've been here, and we know that Eskom has been implementing these rolling blackouts for quite some time now. Just in layman's terms, how does it affect you as a farmer and also the employees at the end of the day?
Yeah, Reginald, good day. It's quite a challenge at the moment, because we're in the winter, in the middle of the winter crop season, and the yield is the potential is being laid out at the moment. And if we cannot water the stuff, there's going to be a much smaller yield at the end, and there's going to need to be more importing of wheat to bake some bread for South Africa. And the problem is, at the moment, the morale is very low on the farms, because of the center pivots that need to be manually started up and down 8 to 10 times a day. Usually it needs to be 1 or 2 times a day, but at the moment it's 10 to 12 times with all of the load shedding and the electricity dip. So it's a big challenge, and I'm not sure what's going to be left to be harvested in December.
Speaking of the yield itself, and many people don't understand when they go to the shop why they pay so much for bread at the end of the day. Is it because of these things that kick in, and you as farmers then sitting with these challenges? Yeah,
I think the wheat, the crop that we planted in June and July, is by far the most expensive wheat that we ever planted, with the high diesel prices and the high fertilizer and input prices. So somewhere it's going to be turned over to the consumer at the end of the chain, because the diesel prices and the electricity scarcity at the moment, it's affecting it hugely, and the yield's not going to be what it should be. So our backs is open. It's red flags all of the way.
From the farmers' side, what would be the ultimate plan put on the table to Eskom to put or give them some type of relief?
Like our farmers are, Reginald, we don't try to be part of the problem. We try to be part of the solution. Agri Northern Cape is already in talks with Eskom and suggesting that maybe we can, even if load shedding needs to be 6 or 8 hours a day, we can adapt with it better if it will be only 1 or 2 times and not 3 to 4 times as it's at the moment, so that we only need to start the center pivots and the whole systems 1 or 2 times a day, and not 10 to 12 times as at the moment. So I think that will help a lot if they can schedule it like that. The power is off for longer times, but for less times in a 24-hour cycle.
And what would happen if that wouldn't be the case and Eskom continue with these rolling blackouts?
Reginald, at the moment it's a big issue with all the vegetables being produced in the area. With no electricity, there's no pack lines, there's no productivity, there's not going to be vegetables on the shelves, and food security is definitely is on the table. There's going to be issues of that, yeah.
Last question. We know that land expropriation without compensation is a very thorny issue currently in South Africa. What would you say to someone who want the land now that we are sitting with Eskom?
Yeah, Reggie, I think I'll advise anyone who would all his life love to have been a farmer to think twice. At the moment it's not easy. Not the political pressure, but with all of these, the droughts and the floods and the Eskom security, it's a big problem. So I'll think twice. If I wanted to farm, I'll think twice at the moment. It's not an easy job, and it's not a job for sissies.
Well, thank you, Desiree. That was Hannes Brewer, a wheat farmer here in Hopetown, and challenging times for all sectors all around. And he's saying that food security really being threatened here at the end of the day, and you and I and other consumers paying the price when we go to the shops and we need to buy these things coming from these farmers. So they want Eskom to give them some type of relief, implement once or twice, cut them once or twice and not 3 or 4 times per day, because for them it's very difficult to produce water to the fields, and they need a good product to go out to the market in starting from December.
Reginald, thank you so much for bringing us this in one of the latest impacts of the rolling blackouts.